For centuries, nickel was just a scavenger's term for worthless. It wasn't until 1751 that Swedish chemist Axel Fredrik Cronstedt attempted to extract copper from Kupfernickel and realized he had found something entirely new. Axel Cronstedt's journey to discovering nickel began in 1751 at the Lost Cobalt mine in Hälsingland, Sweden. It's truly poetic that Axel Cronstedt chose to embrace the history of the copper demon rather than erase it. That irony is a recurring theme in the history of the periodic table, where several elements actually owe their names to frustrated miners and the monsters they believed lived in the earth, as Copper Demon was more of a malicious entity, often associated with the devil. While a kobold was a prankster, nickel was seen as an enchanter who poisoned the copper ore so it wouldn't melt. In 1735, just 16 years before nickel was isolated, Georg Brandt proved that the kobold ore contained a new metal. Just as Cronstedt would do later, Brandt kept the name to honor the tradition. Cronstedt's primary hypothesis was that the Kupfernickel, nickelite, was simply a stubborn copper ore. His plan followed the traditional metallurgical logic of the time. Cronstedt first roasted the ore to drive off volatile impurities like arsenic. Cronstedt treated the roasted residue with acids. To his surprise, instead of the blue solution typical of copper, he obtained a green solution. Cronstedt then attempted to reduce this green substance using charcoal in a furnace. This was the standard method for freeing a metal from its oxide. After the charcoal reduction, Cronstedt expected to see a bead of reddish, glowing copper. Instead, he pulled a metallic regulus, a small lump of metal, from the furnace that completely defied 18th century metallurgy. When Cronstedt cleared away the ash and charcoal, the metal wasn't the warm orange-red of copper. It was silvery white, closer in appearance to iron or tin. This was the first visual proof that the copper in Kupfernickel was a lie. To prove to the scientific community that this wasn't just a weird alloy of iron and arsenic, Cronstedt performed a chemical trial. Using his signature blowpipe, he fused the metal with borax. It produced a brownish yellow glass bead. Had it been copper, the bead would have been blue or green. Had it been cobalt, it would have been a deep smalt blue. Even after the charcoal reduction and these tests, the scientific world was skeptical. Many famous chemists of the time, including Monet and others, argued that Cronstedt hadn't found a new element, but had simply made a messy alloy of iron, arsenic, and cobalt. He proved that no matter how much you refined it, the properties remained the same. It was a unique, fundamental element. This finally silenced the critics and cemented Cronstedt's place in history. Just as he was finishing his work on nickel, Cronstedt made one more accidental discovery that changed science forever. While testing a new mineral with his blowpipe, he noticed it seemed to boil and release steam when heated. He named these minerals zeolites, from the Greek zeo, to boil, and lithos, stone. Today, zeolites are the silent heroes of our world. They are used in everything from water purification and laundry detergents to the petroleum refining that fuels our cars. Axel Fredrik Cronstedt died on August 19, 1765, at the age of 42. He passed away at his estate, Nisheden, located near Säter, Sweden. It took another 10 years and the work of Torbjörn Bergman in 1775 to finally prove that Cronstedt was right. Nickel was a pure, distinct element. Honorary monument to Axel Cronstedt is at the Los Cobalt mine, Loos Cobalt Gruva, in Hälsingland, where he first identified nickel. The mine has been preserved as a historical industrial site and museum. Visitors can take guided tours through the 18th century shafts where Cronstedt collected his samples of Kupfernickel. In the heart of Stockholm, at the Big Iron Office, Gamla Järnkontoret, there is a commemorative medallion of Axel Fredrik Cronstedt. This building is a historic center for the Swedish iron and steel industry, located near the statue of another famous chemist, Jöns Jacob Berzelius. Beyond physical mines, his legacy is kept alive through the Cronstedt Award, presented by the Federation of European Zeolite Associations, FEZA. This award honors his 1,756 discovery and naming of zeolites, minerals that boil when heated. In a funny twist of global geography, there is also a massive monument called the Big Nickel in Sudbury, Canada, the world's nickel capital. stands a 30-foot tall testament to the element Cronstedt rescued from the Copper Demon. The monument is a 30-foot, 9-meter tall replica of a 1,950 Canadian 5-cent piece. This specific year was chosen for a very intentional reason. 1,951 was the 200th anniversary of Cronstedt's isolation of nickel in 1751. The creator of the Big Nickel, Ted Silva, envisioned a whole numismatic park. For a few years, the Big Nickel wasn't alone. It was joined by other massive coin sculptures, including the Fantasy Penny, the Lincoln Penny, the Kennedy half dollar, and the $20 gold piece. The other coins were eventually dismantled in the 1982nd, leaving the Big Nickel as the lone giant standing over the city. Axel Cronstedt didn't just find a medal, he taught the world to look deeper. He proved that if you have the right tools and enough curiosity, even the worthless or cursed rocks of the earth can hold the keys to the future.